Yeah, then you get Zero Suit Samus. As much as I love Zero Mission, that suit's a little ridiculous, isn't it, people? Did really enjoy the opening of this game. And that suit gets progressively more ridiculous, people, in future interpretations of it. Like, the original concept art isn't particularly bad, but like... right? I think George R. R. Martin was like calling out the interviewer for asking kind of a goofy question. You can be a unicorn if you really want to be, people. Hey, speaking of Zero Suit Samus. Yeah, exactly, Andrea. Katniss is a good character because that's the fact that she's a girl is irrelevant to the story. It never comes up. Oh yeah, this game was when they're like, oh man, you're using a Wii. Use the Wii controls. This is the one that was actually designed to be used with the Wii remote too. Yeah, Spiky, it's amazing that it's all because of that, huh? Cool.
Unidentified vessel, please switch to a secure radio frequency and transmit your identity code. We are standing by.
Clear. Alright, no biohazards here. That's good. Chozo Varia suit online. This is a cool opening to this game. Ah, they point at it with a little arrow. It's nice. Alright, I can do the Easter egg if you want to tell me. Buckin, what's the symbol order? You want to tell me in order of numbers? 4617 from left to right, okay. Oh, this is actually 7, so 4, 6, 1.
皆さんこんにちは。任天堂の坂本です。メトロイドプライムシリーズ3部作の完結編、メトロイドプライム3コラプションいかがでしょうか。楽しんでいただいてますか。このシリーズ以外にもサブスのミッションはまだまだ続きます。期待して待っててください。ではこれからもメトロイドをよろしくお願いします。メトロイドおもろいど。
I think you hit the nail on the head, people. 100% agree. If we got like tight Master Chief suit with like bulging package, then everything would be fair. That's all we really need. That's the source of it. As soon as we have a universe where there's sexy ladies in spacesuits and sexy bulging balls in spacesuits, we've achieved parity. Oh, sorry, Buckin. I didn't realize there were other ones. That was cool, though. Thanks for sharing that. I didn't know about that.
Cleared for docking bay 5. Welcome back, Samus.
Yeah, I heard the Sakamoto message. That was pretty cool. Oh, I see. You have to like lift it up. People, right? Oh, there's another one from Iwata and Miyamoto. Awesome. That's really cool that they have that. David Bowie's package in Labyrinth got a lot of positive feedback. Isn't that like the star of that movie? It's like David Bowie's package, Jennifer Connelly, David Bowie, and then all the other actors. Have you guys seen the Rick and Morty episode with the, they've got Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords doing his David Bowie voice? Pretty great. Playing Prime 3 here for about 35 minutes, and then we'll switch over to Xenoblade to wrap it up.
Please calibrate your weapon.
Yeah, the controls in this one are quite a bit tighter because it was designed with the Wiimote in mind. Graphics are really nice. Nothing to scan yet.
Calibration complete.
Talking to dudes.
Flagship Olympus. Admiral Dane is waiting for you in the briefing room. I will upload the location to you now.
This weirded me out when I played it for the first time. It's like, I'm talking to people? Really? There's like other humans? But it makes sense. I mean, it's one of those, like, the tradition of Metroid is that, I like the way the scans are handled in this one too, the nice little outline, and you can kind of see Samus's face a little bit better in the scanning visor. You know, we take for granted the fact that Metroid is intended to be lonely, but does it need to be lonely? Just because it's always been that way doesn't mean, does it always have to be that way? Not necessarily. Add that as a quote, people. Didn't they address that on South Park with the wiener, floppy wiener, floppy wiener? They do have the D on Game of Thrones, but it's always like floppy and not offensive. Nope, not yet. I gotta scan everything first. I'm never gonna have to open this door. Okay. The other visor's offline, sure. It's one of those games where they even bother, like... Okay, no, I have all my upgrades, so... At some point, they're going to have to address the reason why I'm going to lose my upgrades later. I feel like they should just not bother and just say, look, it's a new Metroid game. Clearly, you have to get your stuff again from scratch. I appreciate that they try. There's a couple games that are pretty closely built around why you have to get all your upgrades again. I guess Fusion, a lot of the theme of Fusion is that.
Hey Samus, these walkway mechanisms aren't working. Something must be jamming the gears. The pirates.
I can check through the list. I think only mods can add quotes at the moment, but if you had one you wanted to add, let me know.
No joke.
I think Andrea, D-Rock, or Flarewing, or Kami can do it.
That was some nasty.
It's an exclamation point add quote followed by the person's name followed by whatever they said.
I have a feeling this will be worse.
Scan in all the crates and the heavy boxes. Most impacts. Charge beam looks really good in this one too. There we go. You can skip the cutscene where you lose all your stuff. There you go, Andrea. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm on duty. I can't talk right now. Got a job to do here.
Oh, really? Why is that? Does it add a scan or something, Spiky? Scanning all the stuff. Are you serious? No shit, Spiky. I thought you meant you just skip the cutscene and you don't see it. You actually get to keep your stuff, so the cutscene actually removes your items from the game? That's super interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. Code input required to unlock. Well, I don't know what the code is, so I gotta talk to somebody to find out. Give me the code.
Samus Aran? It's an honor to meet you.
A pleasure to meet you, Samus.
Tell me the code. What's the code? Dang it, Bobby. Let's go with code of my luggage. 1. Okay. What does this say? Turret. I'm not gonna have to deal with that later. The quote of significant others, exactly. Oh, this might tell me here. It's red. Let's interact with it then. Press for access code. It did read Prime 2 Chaos. 13576. It's like the bomber notebook. This whole opening of this game is let's show off the Wii U, or the original Wii. Does this game use the sensor bar? Or is it the Wii Motion Plus? I'm pretty sure it's the sensor bar, right? Yeah, it's the sensor bar. You can test that. If you move your Wiimote completely out of the way of your sensor bar and it continues to work, then it doesn't use the bar. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember the fappening? Like when they hacked Apple and released all those celebrity nude pics. That happened while I was at PAX 2014, and Andrea sent me a text message that was like, how come whenever these leaks happen of naked pictures, it's always women? And I was like, I imagine there is no response that's going to be good. I should have just said, I'm sorry. Pull away from the screen. Oh, that's cool. Those are neat. I like those little pieces there. Yeah, I think the official name, they've come to adapt Wiimote. I guess you could call it a Wii controller, but I've heard Wiimote has been accepted. It's a Wii remote. It's a Wiimote.
Registration number 13576. Identified as bounty hunter Samus Aran. Preparing a biohazard scan. Please approach the scan terminal.
Motion Plus didn't exist yet. That's right. Motion Plus came out pretty close to the end of the Wii's life cycle. If we say the Wii is dead when the Wii U came out. Okay, we messed with this a little bit earlier.
Scan complete. No hazardous material detected. Samus, you are cleared for the command bridge.
Good to know. We didn't bring anything with us. Could they do one of these cool twisty things again? It is a nice. I think that's an immersive use of the Wii controls. Like I don't feel like this whole opening is excessive and that it's showing off the Wii. It feels a little bit more immersive. There are some games, especially some third-party games, that did it too much. But here they use it sparingly, and when they use it, I think it's cool. Draws you in. What's up, dude?
But this requires my full attention.
Alright, I won't talk to you then. Jeez. Unique passcode is required. Only be used during an emergency. Okay. What's up, dude?
Samus Aran?
No problem, buddy. Hey, it even has like a little blaster hand on it. Probably don't need to scan this, but just for funsies. Yeah. Usually stuff like that doesn't trigger a logbook entry. I feel like there's a lot more stuff to scan here. It's more like Metroid Prime 1. Hey, thanks for the host, people. Appreciate that. Keep on running. What's up, random dudes? I feel like the scanning visor is a little less intrusive in this one, too. Desaturates everything a little bit, but you can still see everything fine. Astrogation station. The astrogator plots courses. Oh, cool.
Sorry, I'm on duty.
You want to tell me what your thing is? I don't know. These people want me to talk to. They don't have anything to say. Like, yeah, auto host. Is that Moobot that has that, or is it Ankbot people? Double jump. Not gonna keep that. What is the cutscene where you lose your upgrades in Metroid Prime 2? It's long enough ago now. Remember the one in Metroid Prime 1 when you're like on your way out of the ship while it's having its attack? You like get knocked into a wall or something and it says that they all malfunction. Block my door. I think this is, hey, it's a save point. Might be the save point we end up using when we switch, we'll see. Oh right, the Aang absorbed them from you, right? That's why you fight like the Spider Ball Guardian later. Moobot? Nice people. Dodge the portal, be a fuckery. Vulnerable to fire. Okay. That's awesome. You know, if AutoHost is the main reason I ended up paying for DeepBot, if you can get that for free with Moobot, you could use the free version of DeepBot for like the currency thing, then just use Moobot for auto hosting and stuff. If you want currency, it's not even something you need to like broadcast to your chat. It's just nice to have. I've got a database that tracks, you know, who watches when and for how long. Nice to know. And I can put little notes next to viewers. Go, Spiky joined during Final Fantasy 14. Do the Michael Scott thing, the weird mnemonic to remember everything.
Looks like everyone's here now.
Bunch of weird bounty hunters.
Let me introduce 242, the flagship's Aurora unit.
Do like the idea of there being a whole bunch of other bounty hunters.
Organic supercomputer. Fascinating. It's my understanding that the Galactic Federation's core network is comprised of such units.
That is correct, Core. And we serve as the network's master control. However, currently the network is down.
Oh man, organic supercomputer, you know what that is? Mother Brain is an organic supercomputer in Metroid 1.
That seems inefficient.
But necessary. You see, 7 days ago, we discovered that all Aurora units were infected with an unknown virus. We were forced to bring the network down. Fortunately, our scientists were quickly able to devise a vaccine.
Unit 242 was the first AU to receive the vaccine. We were able to completely purge the virus.
Right.
Where did this virus come from?
We believe the virus is of space pirate origin. 4 months ago, the G.F.S. Valhalla went missing while on a training mission in the Klar Nebula. The ship's logs revealed that they were attacked by a space pirate raiding vessel.
I think this one's trying to do a better job of bridging the gap between Metroid and Super Metroid, because what's the order? It's Metroid 1, the 3 Metroid Prime games, Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Let's Pretend Like Other M didn't happen, Metroid Fusion. I skipped any there. And Hunters is between the Prime games. I think those other Bounty Hunters might have an appearance in the Hunters DS game. I never actually played it.
What is the logic in disrupting a Federation training mission?
They're pirates. How could they resist a prize like that?
That never would have happened if I'd been there.
Then it's a shame you weren't. The pirates boarded the Valhalla and gained access to the ship's Aurora unit, 313. This is how they were able to hack into the network and plant the virus.
Thanks to our security protocols, we were able to shut down the network before the damage from the virus became irreversible.
It'd be cool if we ever get to explore organic computing
But
as a species.
we're still vulnerable. If the pirates decide to launch a major offensive, we'd be hard-pressed to defend ourselves. We must rid the other AUs of that virus and bring the network back online. That's where you come in. We need you to deliver the vaccine to each of the AUs in this
I'd like them to see another game that takes place after Metroid Fusion, because that changes Samus pretty permanently.
We'd also like you to investigate the pirates' activity in the area. You need to know what they're up to.
Oh man, people, when you get your machine working and your capture card running, Metroid Prime, they're cool games, but like the 2D Metroid games, especially like Zero Mission, Fusion, and Super Metroid are some of the best games ever made. The Prime titles are great, but they're very different, you know?
Personnel to combat-ready stations. Repeat.
Have you played like Castlevania Symphony of the Night? I'm trying to think of another Metroidvania type title you may have played.
Sector 0, the planet's home base.
No, they're targeting the planetary defense system. Get down to the planet and aid the ground troops. Stop those pirates from disabling the defense system. Go.
One of my favorite things in Metroid, you experience this phenomenon in Zelda as well. You're like, oh, that's a suspicious wall. There's like 2 torches around this wall and nothing else there. I wonder if I can bomb that. You get that all the time in Metroid, which is what it's all about. Yeah, Cave Story is really good. I played maybe 5 hours of that. Ori and the Blind Forest is a recent one. It's very pretty. It's like Fern Gully. I think, is Ori and the Blind Forest on Xbox One? You should play that, people. It's so good. If you like Fern Gully and you like good games, you should start with Metroid Zero Mission, which is a GBA game. It is a just strictly better version of Metroid 1 for the NES.
Down on the planet until we get the fleet in formation. Launch all fighter squadrons.
I don't know if you can get Zero Mission on like a Wii anymore. There was some kind of temporary thing where you could get it on the Virtual Console for the 3DS, but I think that may have been just part of the people who had 3DSs a long time ago. The Ambassador program or whatever. Pirate Militia. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Okay, if you like the style of Ori and the Blind Forest, that's a Metroidvania game. That's what most of them are like. I accidentally just killed one of my buddies. Where it's like, you know, you walk through this big map and you see things and you're like, oh man, I can't get there yet, but I'll have to remember to come back later. Can I scan this cool little ship? Yeah, see if you can get your hands on, I mean, worst case scenario, you can always play, if you can't pay for it, you can always play Zero Mission on an emulator. The GBA emulator is actually fairly robust. Just set limits for yourself, don't use save state, kind of a thing. But obviously if you can give money to Nintendo, do it. We got about 16 more minutes here. We'll keep playing until we get to a save point, I think. Try not to run too late over time. Whoa! Did you know that this kind of scripted event, here it was actually handled with a game interrupting cutscene, but I think I may have been able to save him if I was careful. Maybe there's like achievements or something associated with that. That whole idea of having an event happen in a first-person shooter while you're moving through a hallway was... First game that really did that was Half-Life 1. You go back and play Half-Life 1 right now, you don't really appreciate it because it's a big deal. That's in everything these days. But it was a big thing. You could tell a story in a really interesting way, but just have something happening when you cross a certain trigger point. Yeah, all the mobile Castlevania games are very good. I would agree with that. They kind of have that Ori and the Blind Forest playstyle. No, just because you have the access to save states doesn't mean you need to use them. Oh man. Slightly more armored space pirates. I forget what a good game this is. Let's get the one that's holding the thing that I don't want him to take away. How'd you get that, buddy? No, you don't. There we go. Let's pick it up. Energy cell acquired. Turn cell to its socket to restore room power. I rented Parasite Eve once and I never beat it. That's one I'll do on stream at some point. It's like an RPG. It's a horror RPG. Is that how you describe it? It's a Square game. I know it came out around the time Final Fantasy VIII was out. Alright. Doing taking our power cells for weirdo space pirates. Oh, did they do a PSP remake? That would be cool. Gross little buggy things. How are you guys? Crawl mine. Mobile explosive drone. Detonates on contact. No, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to escape from this room just yet. Aha! There we go. Morph ball. See you later. Oh, there are two of them, I see. Energy tank. Alright, nice. Right on. Yeah, Resident Evil JRPG. Sounds pretty great. It's a good thing that they designed this station with Samus's morph ball in mind, huh? Yeah, I know. It's gaming abstraction. Most mechanics in games are an abstraction. They're trying to simulate the fact that the character you're playing as is ingenious and is using their surroundings cleverly. Oh, that's right. I remember that suit. You like use your energy tanks for things, don't you? Sounds familiar now. Ooh, that'd be interesting, people. I didn't even notice that. Airlocked cyclone. let's get to moving. Right, the other bounty hunters are helping fight them. Right, Chaos? Of course I'm gonna strafe around the enemy. Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't have missiles yet, but I assume I'm gonna get one here soon. In order to get through that door. I do like that they give you some of the upgrades here in the beginning part. Yeah, those of you coming close on 240 hours, think of a sprite you'd like to have. I think Spiky, Chaos, and Nulu are the most likely to hit it next at the current rate of growth. Any 18 by 18 game sprite, I can replace your little shield badge with that, as you'll notice for some of the other viewers. Darkstar is still picking one, actually. Frigate is beyond repair. Next save point we hit, regardless when we hit it, we'll use it as a switching point. There's a missile. Probably don't need to scan it. Looks more like the missile upgrades in the 2D titles. Oh man, maybe not today. I think Kami is number 2. I mean, technically. Oh, I just got Super Slash. That's cool. If I just got Super Slash, I wonder what my level up range is. Hi, Ben. Apologies if he bumps into the mic too much. If he does, I'll bump him down here. Alright, so that was our save point. Let me double check and make sure that it took, because I'm weird. The game did just save, right? Ben jumped up and surprised me. Ben, can you... I love you too, buddy. Can you not put your butt in my face? No, there you go. Bye, Ben. I'm actually watching the YouTube playback to make sure that that game save just went through. Because you can rewind YouTube live by up to 4 hours. I'm pretty sure that it did, but I got distracted. No, it was not a game save. It was a missile pack. I'm glad I checked it out. Okay, let's keep going. I was like, what the hell just happened? Oh, right. I'm sure people can attest to this when you're streaming. It's easy to take like finding an upgrade or something like that. You get like a little bit of a reprieve to actually look at your chat and interact with things, and sometimes your brain shuts off a little bit while you're reviewing it. Like, didn't you know that you just got that? It's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. Try to pay attention. Sounds good, Chaos. Shoot all these from down here. Now, trying to put things blocking my shooting path. Jerk move. You have to name like to find a really good character to name Ben, I think, Chaos. These things are cool looking. Oh, I see. Arrow mine. Drop shield to fire weaponry, sure. You can't, like, target these, you actually have to point the Wiimote. This is testing your ability to target it. Smart. New here. Yeah, I get turned around all the time. Like, I'll open the map, I'm like, okay, I gotta wait, like, 2 seconds for the map to load. This is a brief reprieve where I can safely check the chat, and then you come back like, wait, what was I doing? Alright, that's pretty good timing on the save game. We're not going to get to another save point in 4 minutes, so I'll go ahead and get Xenoblade spun up here. Metroid Prime 3 will return next week with a full 3-hour block. And we'll try to reserve it for weeks where we can give 2 or 3 hours to it, rather than the, you know, the more variety focused 90-minute block weeks. Alright, give me a sec to switch over.